Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So you have already seen the thumbnail, so there is a lot to talk about here. So I have created my own website and I have made it live, so it's already there. It has some content, but it is still work in progress. So this is my website as you can see here on my screen. So um it's not a mandate that you need a website, and what I want to talk here is to figure out if you basically need a website or not. What is the use case where you would prefer to create your own website, and why would you use to create a website over your own application, and what is going to be the budget that you can start with for your own very website, and what you can do to scale it further, what would you need, and sort of everything that we are going to talk about here. So this is my website and it is very basic. It's kind of a blog as you can see, and this is my use case, but we will talk about everything. So before we actually do talk about it, if you are new to my channel, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I see a lot of you are not subscribing to my channel and it's really heartbreaking. So please do that. Now let's see what you need to do. So the first thing that we need to discuss is the use case. So why would you need a website in 2026 or 25? So the first use case would be that you want something to begin with. So a website is comparatively easy and it can be really relaxing if you want to maintain that. Now, when we talk about use cases, we have two things. We have website, which was kind of a big thing uh, before apps came into existence. Now we have two separate things. So apps require development, as in something that you should do before you basically create your own app. You need to learn development. Website may or may not need development. So mostly right now it is may not and not may. So I used to learn about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then TypeScript, and furthermore we got a lot of new programming languages to create your own website. Nowadays you don't need to do a lot of things, and I will explain why I'm saying this. But for apps you still need Java, Kotlin, or Swift. I think that is for your Mac OS. So you need to learn all of these to basically create a basic application. Now, when I said something to begin with, this is the reason when I said you can go with website. But if you want a concrete application, you know about development, then go for an app. That is always a good thing to go with, because maybe in future use cases you would need a website as well as an app. So if you create an app, your most of the traffic would be in your app and some of your traffic in website. So the difficulty website has is your responsiveness. So responsiveness is how you see your website in different device formats. So it can have any display, and your website should be responsive to basically parse your data into multiple formats. So that is responsiveness. Also the text, the display, and every sort of information can get cluttered when you talk about websites. So apps give you more leverage. Now I have given you all the things so you can decide whether to go with website or app. Why I went with website? Because of this, I wanted something to begin with and I didn't had a lot of time to invest on creating a new app, right? So I went on with website. Now this was the use case. Now let's talk about website. So if you went with a website, or if you want to create a website, there are multiple ways through which you can basically create your own website. So first thing is to go completely with Blogger. So this is completely free to use and this is through your Google. So you can create or your own blog basically, and if it works, if it basically gets popular, or it is trending, and if you are getting some organic traffic basically, you will somehow or somewhat get monetized, which is basically how you get money. So this is a good thing if you wanted something to go free and you want to earn money. But Blogger doesn't basically promotes a professional website. Why? Because whenever you create your own website, you will have something like this. I think this is, or I think Blogger, I don't know, but something like this is going to be there at the very end of your URL. So whatever you have chosen as your URL, that is going to be there, and then this is going to be there. So it doesn't looks professional. And also when you use properly SEO, which is your search engine optimization, it doesn't guarantee that your content will be visible, or a user or a viewer is basically going to click on this link which is not looking professional. But this is completely free to use, so if you want you can do that. And if you have a niche content or something that is very unique, then this is obviously going to have an organic traffic, and you will somehow, or in few months or years, you will get some money. Now this is completely free to use. Now there are more ways to work on your website. You can partially use Blogger. Now why I said partial, because this is the major problem for me. I didn't want to go with this, so I thought that let's buy a domain. So when you buy a domain, you don't need this. You can basically have something like this, abc.com. So as you know, my website is, let me show you. So this is my website. It is prashantsharmaofficial.com. So it looks professional, it sounds professional, and if I'm promoting this, everyone knows that okay, my name is Prashant and this is my website. So I can use it for several purposes. Now even if you go with a free to use blogger, you may in future need to buy domain. So if you go with something now, then you are booking your domain right now, because in future maybe when you actually have money and time to buy a domain, then you might not get what you want to, right? So that is again a bargain. So I went with partial blogger. So I have bought the domain, and I'll show you everything how I bought this domain, and everything that I have as the content is in Blogger. So I don't have the hosting which I would do if I had some money. I have some money, but I don't have money to spend on this. So the ideal approach is to have your own domain and your own hosting. So hosting means that where you store your content. It can be a PDF, it can be a simple page, it can be a video, audio, whatever you want. So hosting is basically a costly thing, and it can give you 500 MB of space or 500 TB of space according to your need, and you can scale basically from 500 MB to TB according to your need. But it is obviously going to be costly because it is going to give you a shared or your own private server kind of a thing, right? So I told you about the ways and I told you what I am using. So let's talk about money now. So everything rolls around budget. So if you have, let's say, budget under 1000, right? So I would suggest buy a domain, but when you buy a domain, don't go with .com, right? This is the costly domain. I'll tell you why I'm saying this. If you have a budget less than 2000, or let's say uh, between 1000 to 2000, in that case buy .com, right? And if you have more than 2000 budget, in that case you can do whatever you want to do, right? But I would not suggest to go with this and buy a .com domain. I would suggest to go with hosting as well and buy a cheap domain, right? So there are a lot of domains, like you can have .in, you can have .co.in. then there is .app, then we have .online. I'm giving you options which you can use. Then you have professional as well, somewhere I have seen this, right? So depending on the domain, as in depending on the extension, you you can get the domain under a price. So it's really cheap. It's really cheap if you want to buy a domain and if you don't want to be restricted over .com, .in, something like that. So let me show you the process how you can basically do that. So there is a website which is Namecheap that you can go for, and here you have to do an international transaction. If not, then you can go for Big Rock. This is where I went to buy the domain. It's not like I don't have an international transaction mode. I have that, but I found it cheaper on Big Rock. So you need to compare your chosen domain in multiple places. So I'm going to go with a domain. I'm just going to show you the process. So here on the very home page, you get the option to register a domain to start with. Now what you can do is, for example, if my name is Sri Ram, I'm saying a weird thing right now. Let's suppose if we have to create a website with the name Sri Ram. So you just need to search. When you do search, then you will have a lot of options here, right? Similarly, if you have something here, let's say Kashyap, Bharadwaj. Now here you will get a lot of options again, because this is not something very common. So if you see here, you have the pricing in dollars, and we can basically convert it. So just multiply it, let's say just to summarize, multiply it by 90. So that is going to give you an upper limit, right? So I'm just going to give you a comparison between these two as well, and just to give you the exact outcome, I'm just going to do USD to INR as well. So let's suppose if you go with .com, which I don't ever recommend. So if you just click on add to cart, so you don't have to choose anything here. Don't go with that. You have web hosting, don't go with that. Don't go with any of this. So this is in the cart, and if you click on checkout, I'm not going to pay right now. I'm just going to show you the total amount. So this is the total amount. And here if you see, the domain privacy is 0, which is forever, and this is only for first year. For the later years you will be renewed with this price, but I'm just going to go with first year as of now. So this is going to be 1000, right? Because this is a very unique name of the website, so this is very cheap. Now when you go here, let's again use the same name here. I forgot what I used. Okay, and remove .com from here. Now here if you see, kashyapbharadwaj.com is 89 rupees per first year. Now here you need to purchase it for 3 years in a single go. Now let's suppose if I click on make it yours. So if you see here, the total amount is 4802, which is almost 5000. So here we have domain protect plus added for 1400, which is 1500. Here if you see, the domain privacy was free. So this was the leverage here. Now again, you don't need it actually, so you can simply remove it. So you can say remove from cart, right? Now when you do that, if you see, the total amount is 2946, right? Now this is for 3 years, and after that you have to buy this again for the new price. So if you calculate this, so let me paste it here, divide by 3. So this is what you are getting for the first year, or you can say for each year. So almost 1000 for each year for 3 years. But here you are getting it for 1000 for the first year, and for the consecutive years you will get it for $14, which is going to be 1300. So you can compare depending on this, what you need, what you don't need, and you can buy it. So I think, let me show you what I bought it for. I have my emails, so let me check those. All right, so if you see here, this is my website where I have the congratulations mail, and I bought it on 4th December. The total invoice amount was 3477. It was costly, right? So I had my budget, and depending on that, I decided to use it. No one has to replicate this. It's up to everyone, like what they need and what they don't. So if you divide it by 3, I'm getting it for 1159. So you can say 1200 almost. So not cheap. My budget was around 1000, but I thought this URL is looking professional, so let's go with it. Now when I went with my URL, I had a lot of other options which were really cheap. So let me show you those as well. So first of all, I didn't want it to use official, so I went for my own name. Now this is unavailable. This you can buy on auction again, and here on Big Rock that is not an option. But if you see here, online is at 99 per years. This is really cheap. So if you go for this, which is your 99 per year, I don't know if I can go with any other cheapest option here. So similarly, you will see a lot of options like this, like dot store is 199, AI is again costly, but dot co dot in is cheap, and then we have buzz dot in dot net, and then this URL, if you see, I am prashantsharma.com. I didn't wanted to use this, so I went for official because my YouTube channel also has the unique ID as official, so I wanted to reuse that. Okay, so similarly you can buy it for yourself, whatever you want, and it's not like you have to go to Big Rock or Namecheap. Just Google it, whatever websites pop up. We have GoDaddy as well, and a lot of other websites which sell domains. So compare everywhere, and wherever you find the cheapest option, go there. Now talking about some things which we should I think talk about. So here .com is considered as international, so this will allow international traffic. Now .in is again Indian domestic traffic, so you won't get international traffic much, and same goes for .co.in. This is also Indian traffic, but on the other hand, online is international, so you can use it if you want something cheap, right? So just look at these domains first, because if you want your content to be displayed in each and every country, then go for .com or .online. Otherwise go for .in and .co.in, because these will be very cheap. Now I'll also show you how you can basically check your traffic. So we have Google Analytics. So here if you see, we have active users as 5. This is my website traffic right now, and event count as 45, new user 5. But if I show you here, you can see that the country-wise traffic is coming from India, South Korea, and also United States. Also I can see the page-wise views, like on which pages the traffic is coming from. Then I can see organic social, organic search, right? So if I didn't use .com, then I wouldn't get the traffic from multiple countries. So that was my need, and that is what I'm getting. So I think I have talked about everything what I wanted to talk about here. If you have any questions, do let me know. I have told you the entire process that I have. I will be planning to again provide a new video if you need, which is going to be on how to set up Blogger and how to use it if you have a custom domain and stuff like that. if this video of mine is going to get some traffic on YouTube, then I will certainly work on that later part of the video. Otherwise, this is going to be the it for this video or this series basically. So I will meet you in some another video. Till then, have a good day, stay safe, and keep learning. Bye bye.